Three exposure secrets of camera. In camera, there are three exposure keys in camera. For your camera to see properly, there are three exposure keys in your camera. The first one is iris. Most photographers call it aperture. The second one is shutter speed, or you can call it shutter angle. And the third one is gain. You can also call it ISO in some camera, DSLR cameras, and some camera call it ASA. These are the three ways by which you can expose your camera. Exposure. Why I call it secret? It is very easy for you to use exposure buttons to expose your camera. This morning we had issues where we went to. The first issue we had was what? Light. There was no way to power our light. We went there with enough light, but there was no way to power them. No generator, no electricity, no solar, nothing. But thank God we went there with some cameras that are used on lights that are using battery, and we were with batteries. We shot with this light and about three rechargeable lamps. Those are what we used to shoot the video. When we had that issue, then the secret of exposure now begins to play for me. My understanding of exposure helped me to still get a good picture from my camera even when I have issue with light. Now, these three things, they have attributes, and there are ways you should use them if you will get a good quality image on your camera. Some people, when they handle camera, the first place they go to is the ISO, because that one increases light very well. Now, they can go from 100 to 1600 ISO. No, everywhere will be so bright, and when they see it, they love the picture. That is bright. I will tell you the attributes. I'll tell you why you should use it, how you should use it. And then, because iris is always limited, we talked about it yesterday. It's always limited. There is a point iris will stop. It will not go again. But this, my brother, which is gain, can go so long. It has very many numbers of ISO. So, and then the shutter speed also has very many numbers, but the shutter speed also has a limitation when it comes to brightness, but it goes so long when it comes to reducing the brightness. Alright, so now let me explain one after the other. We talked about the iris yesterday. You understand that that is lens induced exposure. If you want to expose your camera via your lens, it is the iris you will have to put on. Now, let me tell you the attribute of this. It is good to expose your camera with your iris, but this is the attribute. When you expose your camera with iris, the increase of iris makes you to lose some details of your video. So when you increase your iris, when you increase your iris, like you reduce the level of your iris to increase the brightness, you can lose some picture details. For example, you are shooting somebody like him. There's wearing white with some dark dots on the white. It is possible that when you are recording him, some of the details of his cloth can be lost when you increase iris. Iris is the amount of light that enters into your camera by the reason of the lens. The use of it will either help you to retain the details or to lose the details. Take for example, I want to shoot a scene, and there is an object behind my talent. There is an object behind my talent that I don't want to reveal. But that object is irremovable. You can manipulate your iris to hide that object from your shots. So you see that, just like I said yesterday, there is no error when it comes to, because this thing is an art. It's not depend on how you want to use it. Anytime I teach people about filmmaking or cinematography or anything, I ask them, make sure you use whatever you learn creatively. There's no rule. There are principles. These are the principles we are learning now. When you know the principles, you can then put those principles together to create your image. Shutter speed. This is the secret of the shutter speed here right now. Most people who shoot for cinema, they maintain constant shutter speed for some shoots, except in a situation whereby you already know what you want to do with that footage. For example, you want to control slow motion on that footage. Particular shutter speed was for that slow motion footages. Now, so you are in between two things, the background and your subject. If your subject is not moving, and then is against a particular background, you can decide to cut down for the background since the subject is not moving, and then you will have your shoot. And then you remember that you can also use your iris to do the magic. So it's a combination, is a manipulation of both the iris and your shutter speed to get what you want to get from the sky, and then you will apply your light on your subject. Look at, with our normal eyes we can see what is outside, but with this camera now we cannot see what is outside. The first problem of this that makes it happen, the iris. So with a little reduction in the iris, we can start to begin to see what is outside, but your iris must not go down too much. For me, I will never use ISO 1000 for a camera like this. The maximum I will go for a camera like this, if I'm shooting a movie, can be just 400. Because all camera has the level of low light. Camera has a level of their low light. That there is a level you can get to with their ISO. We were able to control our iris, our ISO to 800, and then our image is still very beautiful. No grains, nothing. That's ATD for you. But some cameras will not do that. The moment you get to 500, you will start seeing some grains. When you are shooting your movie, shoot with mood. Shoot with mood. Don't just shoot like, go bright now. Shoot with mood. What mood? What time of the day? And then when you are setting your camera, that will also be at the back of your mind. That what mood am I setting? What you are doing when you are using ISO, or you are using gain, or you are using ASA, in Blackmagic you see ASA, is you are telling, are you with me? Good. You are telling your camera that, camera, please, I don't have light here, but please help me magnify the light that is available. That's a simple explanation you need to know. What is going to be beautiful for your shoot? Telling the camera to help you add light, or putting light by yourself? Which one will make your film beautiful? So that has already told us that when you want to use your gain, use it sparingly.